When I lived in Kansas City, I had a group of close friends who were more like family. We did everything together. Then I met this guy at work and we became friends very quickly. The truth is, he wasn't the best influence, but I didn't want to hear that. My close friends warned me again and again and again, but instead of listening, I got very defensive. Their words actually made me angry, and I started to distance myself from the very people who cared for me the most. Eventually, it all blew up in my face. I didn't want to lose his friendship, so instead I lost theirs. Looking back, I can see how much I resisted the very voices God had placed in my life to protect me. You see, there's a similar pattern that kind of shows up in Exodus 8. God could have unleashed his harshest judgment right away, but he didn't. Instead, he showed mercy by sending plagues in steps: frogs, lice, flies, each one revealing that Egypt's gods were powerless. And each time, Pharaoh was surrounded by people urging him to see what was happening. His own magicians even said that this was the finger of God, but Pharaoh refused to listen. His heart grew harder and harder. What strikes me is how patient God was in the middle of it all. He gave Pharaoh chance after chance after chance to turn around. And every time, Pharaoh pushed back a little more. I think that's the warning for us. Like, when God confronts something in our lives, we can either let our hearts soften or we can dig deeper. Softening means admitting we don't have it all together, humbling ourselves and letting God redirect us. But when we dig in deeper, it often looks like making excuses or getting defensive, blaming others, just like Pharaoh did. One response leads to growth and freedom, and the other to stubbornness and regret. Every time God puts his finger on something in our lives, we face that choice. Will I let this change me, or will I harden myself and miss what God is trying to do? So this makes me think of a line in one of my favorite Medea movies. It says, sometimes the very things that we're holding on to are the very things that God himself is trying to take away. Pharaoh held on to control, I held on to a friendship, and in both cases, God was showing mercy. He was actually trying to remove what would only hurt us. See, sometimes what feels like loss is actually God's protection. What's an area where maybe you've been holding on a little too tightly? Write it down, pray it over, and give it to God. Maybe just ask God, if this is something you're trying to take away, give me the courage to just let go.